Welcome to the Kent Lapp Podcast.
So I grew up in the Jehovah's Witness religion, pretty much from birth. So 2.5, 3. So the first year and a half, I don't remember anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so being in that until about the age of 24, when I was really, really kind of like, all right, this is it. I need to leave. Started to figure out my way at that point. And it was an interesting process. Like there's so much learning that went on there, and there's so much to be thankful for, and there's so much that's blatantly, obviously wrong. And everyone's like, well, didn't you know you were in a cult? I'm like, no, man. Like, that's the point. Anyone who's in a cult doesn't know that they're in. Like, fish can't see water,
That's right. It is not a successful cult if everyone's thinking that they're in one.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. No, I think that's a great quote.
Well, let's put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know who would buy it.
Hey, customer.
Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah.
I don't know much about this. What are some of the markers?
They have some interesting ones. Markers, when you mean like religious staples?
I guess
or
just
how to
what are
visually
some
see
of
them?
the foundations to it, or
Got it.
some of the habits,
Yeah.
or like if you are a Jehovah's Witness, then you would know about such and such.
Yeah.
I came from the Mennonites.
Oh,
So we're,
wow.
family,
Yeah.
hard work, a good work ethic, honesty, integrity. We didn't go to war, and that's about it.
Got it.
Like those are some of the main ones.
Yeah. So for a witness, I would say Bible is number one.
Well, Bible.
They use what's called the New World Translation. They will read and totally agree with any Bible. So King James, they'll read that one. There's some
Really?
Yeah,
Like the Bible. Like I have an ESV Bible in my bag over here.
they'd be all good for it. Yeah,
No kidding.
As long as it's Bible related, yeah, they're all about it.
I did not know that.
Yep. So they have their Bible that they use, but they're very open to any Bible. That's their way of life is based on that. And the part where it gets a little tricky is there's a lot of interpretations that they choose to use for their own particular reasons. And the biggest one I would say is that their main staple is that Jesus is not God. So in order to be a Christian or to say you're a Christian faith, you believe that Jesus is God or was God. The Holy Trinity, right? Jesus, the Son, the Holy Spirit, they're all the same person.
By and large, there's some exceptions to that
Exactly.
with progressive Christianity, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but so by and large, to fall under that umbrella, and they're absolutely, Jesus is a Son of God, very, very powerful being. They absolutely believe in Jesus. It's just that Jesus and God are two totally different people.
Okay.
Totally different people. And then God's name is Jehovah. That's his name. And you're supposed to use his name as frequently as you can. It's a very fear-based religion, so it's not as much love as you would expect or anticipate. It's more of, if you do this, right? Like if you leave, you're an apostate. If you leave the organization, and so now everyone leaves you. Everyone stops talking to you. No one communicates with you. Yeah, so you just get like a massive cutoff. Everyone just really kicks you out, and so that's
So painful.
yeah, that's called getting disfellowshipped. is the
That's
term.
called getting disfellowshipped. The Amish call that they shun. And the Mennonites don't have a technical term for it, but it does happen. But it depends on the type of kind of Mennonite church that you left. Like some of them are going to be more open to continuing communication. Well, I think in a lot of them times it's more of an unspoken thing. It's like
Right.
it's not like if you leave, we won't ever talk to you again. But if you like if you leave certain circles, you're going to get, you just kind of know they've moved on, and that just is what it is. So this is fascinating to me because there's some similarities like with some of the religions I'm more familiar with, like it's the Bible and then a disfellowship. Now, do you think that they're doing that as a way to protect, like if you leave, are they doing that as a way to punish you for leaving or to protect their own going forward, or a little bit of both?
Literally both. You nailed it. Yeah, it's to protect their inner circle so that I can't portray or project incorrect apostate thinking into the sheep or whatever they call it, and the congregations, and then also to punish you so that you can come back. Right. So
They're also similar. So they want you to come back.
they do.
Could you come back at any point? Kind of hat in hand, confess, repent, and all of this, and rejoin, or is it?
Yeah, I'd have to shave my beard.
Okay,
That's a weird
you
one.
can't have beard.
No, can't have a beard.
Well, let me throw this at you.
What?
Some Mennonites you couldn't have a beard, but then another kind of Mennonite, or like the Amish, you had to have a beard.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So you would make really remarkable Amish man with that
thanks,
beard.
man.
But if you were like a different type of Mennonite, then you'd have to shave it off.
It's one thing, like, you can almost guarantee, like, if they're a witness or something interesting is, like, if they're a man's totally clean shaven all the time and super nice, there's a probability he's a witness.
Really?
Like, it's up there. Yeah.
I did not know that. What do you think is behind the beard in the Jehovah's Witness? Is it like the Yankees, where to play ball with the Yankees, you had to have a clean shaved head because they wanted that professional look, or is there something else going on?
Both. They want a standard to stand out from what they call the world. So the world is everyone else, right? Everyone who's not them is the world. So you would be
Also
a worldly person, and they have, they are right. Everyone who's a witness is correct. They're good to go, and everyone else
is the world.
The world. So they want to be separated from the world. So they dress nice, they act nice, they have these really high standards of living, which is actually, when I say high standards of living, I mean like personality-wise, not financial at all. But it's a clean shaven, dress nice, always do everything appropriately, speak appropriately, never say anything bad about anyone. Just be the nicest person you can be, more or less, all the time, which obviously is a good thing. It's not a negative at all.
Yep.
But the beard piece, in my opinion, comes from the separation where you had Charles Taze Russell. He was the guy who more or less created the Witness organization around 1900. And you went from him to Charles Rutherford, I believe is his name, and that was like in the late 50s. And so in the 50s, Charles Taze Russell had a ginormous beard, and the other guy didn't. And he was just like, hey, bro, no one else can have beards. Was that because of that separation? No one can actually say, but come on.
Oh, man.
He took over and just wanted everyone to look like him.
I mean, I have wondered before. By the way, it's striking some of the similarities you're talking about.
Yeah.
What I have wondered before is, like, when it comes down to, another example is we weren't supposed to have wedding rings, so I mean, I have a tattoo now, so it's kind of permanent, but I mean, when we got married, we were still Mennonite. We didn't have wedding rings because you didn't want to be fancy or whatever. But when it comes to the beard, that's the best example, because some sects or whatever, like some groups say you have to have a beard and some say you cannot have a beard. Like, what I've wondered before too is, like, for a system like that to work, you have to impose that system. You have to impose a certain amount on a person. If you don't impose a certain amount onto a person, it's going to be too loosey-goosey, and you're not going to be able to keep them in the confines. But if you can come up with some stuff like you have to have a beard or you can't have a beard, now you're starting, if you can get them to sort of change at that very practical level, now you sort of got them. And I've wondered before, like, how much of that, like, can't have a beard or you have to have a beard, just sort of like we got you, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how else would you, like, describe, well, some of them have to have and some don't have? You know what I mean? It's not a health thing. It's not a cleanliness thing. Now, okay, I have heard this too, where it's like, well, this is what we decided to do as a group, and it's one way that we all sort of know that we're in this group together. But that's still sort of like, we got you, bitch.
Like it's the military.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can't be in the military and have a beard. Like in 95% of all aspects.
Yeah, but do you think it's the same? Because if you can't have a beard in the military, isn't that a little bit more like the Yankees? Like, to play on this club, here's how you have to look. These are our standards, and
absolutely, and that's what they're going for. That's one of their staples. It's a random thing, man. Absolutely, that's one of the reasons I was most annoyed, because I was like, that's nowhere in the Bible, guys. And everyone's always claiming, like, Bible's truth, Bible's truth. I'm like, that's not obviously in the Bible, because everyone had a beard.
Yeah. All right, back to Jehovah's Witness. Any other things you wanted to point out there or call out?
Tons, man. I will shout out, if anyone is interested in this for any particular random reason, there's a guy called John Cedars. He has a strongly popular YouTube channel where he just talks about witnesses all day. He was an ex-witness, obviously, and so he just kind of like tells everyone about their things that they believe. Another one that's really interesting is that there's no hell. So hell's a kind of a popular thing in some Christianity pieces, where it's like, if you do a lot of bad things, you go to hell. And they are adamantly opposed, like, hell doesn't exist. So when you die, you just die.
Oh, I see. You're just, now do you come back in some other form? Or
Great question. So if you are, let's just say, good, for lack of a better term, if you're good and righteous and all the good things, then you get resurrected on an earthly paradise. So heaven, this is where it gets a little strange, heaven's only designed for 144,000 of the witnesses in
Okay.
total. So they're called the anointed ones. And yeah, so only 144,000 people go to heaven and hang out with Jesus and the angels and Jehovah and all that good stuff. And then the rest, the people on earth, they live in earthly paradise forever. Now, here's the part where they get sprinkled in, okay? Because initially that sounds really cool. And they're like, but after 1,000 years, the devil gets let back out for a short period of time. No one knows how long. And then he wreaks his havoc again. And then after that, then it's really over. Then, God puts him back in chains or whatever and kills the devil. There's no more devil, and everyone lives a perfect, happy life forever.
Okay.
Which is cool. I was like, it sounds like the ending of a good book.
Yep.